Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Bacon. Welcome to the show, y'all. Heard at first the way most storms arrive in here, quiet like a rumor whispering through steel. A CO pocketed something that didn't belong to him, not cigarettes, not a snack off the child cart, money, gang money. You'd think a man in a uniform would know better than to reach into a river with teeth. But greed make geniuses mispronounce common sense. It was C-block laundry day when the pieces started lining up. I was folding sheets like they might forgive somebody if I made the corners neat enough. Kareem Adams, old head in the nation of self-preservation, respected without needing to scream, stepped into my light. He had that walk a man gets when he's hiding anger behind arithmetic. "Joe," he said calm like a blade you ain't seen yet, "somebody touched the box." I didn't ask which box. Some questions make you look ignorant, even when you're just playing safe. We keep a few caches around the compound that ain't on no map, and everyone with reasons knows which walls got extra screws and which vents hum sweeter when they're holding. In this case, the box was a hollow behind a dryer panel in the industry hall, half hidden by lint and a century of bad maintenance. That panel was Kareem's bank. It held dues, debt payments, commissary schemes, small bills stacked like thin prayers. "How much?" I asked. "5 books and change," he said. "Call it 840. That kind of money in here ain't weight, it's wind. It moves food, favors, secrets, the temperature of a room, it disappears, and the weather changes." Kareem placed an index card on the laundry table with 2 names written careful as a teacher's roll call, Officer Whitaker and Rico Henderson. I knew Rico, young, ambitious, tongue faster than his brakes. Kareem's lieutenant sometimes, problem most times, but Whitaker, he wore the uniform like a loner suit, polite, soft-spoken, clock dependable. If you'd asked me yesterday, I'd have said he tattles on other COs for forgetting paperwork. "You sure?" I asked, not doubting the math so much as the story. Kareem didn't blink. "Saw him," he said. "Not me personally. Jamari Evans, kid with good ears and bad hobbies, was mopping near the industry hall when Whitaker slid into the staff-only corner, bent behind the dryers, and did the one thing honest men forget to do. He looked around after. Guilt turns a neck too quick, like it hopes time didn't notice. Jamari noticed. And because Guy got jokes, Jamari did what the posters tell you. He reported it. Went to internal affairs through that little slit of a channel they called integrity. Wrote it all down, neat. Dates, times, the bend of the wrist, the shift rotation. Internal affairs nodded, promised, then stapled it to a bigger pile of promises and set a coffee mug on top. Nothing moved. Now the problem wasn't just money. It was the principle that makes men breathe. Kareem looked at me. "You know what come next?" he said. I did. You can forgive a thief when he's starving, when he takes a loaf and leaves an apology in crumbs. You can't forgive an officer stealing from a box that feeds 24 men who ain't seen mercy in months. That ain't theft, that's erasing. "What you want?" I asked. "Arithmetic," he said. "Return the money with 50% interest, don't come back to work." He might as well have set a Bible on the table. In here, that was scripture. We didn't rush. You don't sprint through a minefield. First came the watching. We charted Whitaker's flow, morning med call, noon break by the ice machine, afternoon paperwork in the corridor that smelled like lemon cleaner and old lies. He read paperbacks at lunch, the page corners folded gentle. He wasn't a loud crook. He was careful, start small, trust gravity. Meanwhile, Rico tried to volunteer for the conversation, bounced bunk to bunk like a salesman with a new pitch. "Let me talk to him," he told Kareem. "I'm good with words." Kareem told him to be good with silence. Rico didn't love that. I was the one asked to write. Your handwriting looks like decisions, Kareem said. We used a dull pencil, pens or ambitions with ink. 3 drafts later, the note read, Officer Whitaker, we are aware of your visit to the industry dryers on date. Amount removed, $840. Replaced with 50% interest, $1,260 total within 7 days. Drop site, marked closet behind laundry 3 at 0600. No cameras, no jokes. Failure to comply means do not return to work. The men you attempted to rob. We argued over that last line. Kareem wanted the accountants. Rico wanted something uglier. I said, keep it human. Sometimes you make it personal so the target hears a heartbeat, not a committee. To deliver it, we used Terrence Walker, a porter with the good kind of invisibility, decades of being underestimated. He slid the note under admin's hall door at shift change and kept walking like he was chasing a memory. Now we waited. Waiting in prison ain't like outside. Out there, a phone lies to you. A window lies for you. In here, the clock don't respect feelings. Day 1, nothing. Whitaker looked normal, if anything, more polite. Held a door, smiled at the chaplain, jotted notes with that pocket pen like it could keep score. Rico called him bold. I called him studying. Day 2, he lingered by the ice machine. Terrence said his hands shook when he poured water. He's calculating, Kareem said like he could hear math. Day 3, rain hammered the roof. The whole compound moved slow. Whitaker's chin tucked, eyes reading subtitles only he could see. Rico pitched a headline playing. Kareem shook his head. Arithmetic first, he said, then poetry. Day 4, internal affairs summoned nobody. No follow-up. That told us everything. Someone had seen the note. Nobody wanted between a hungry dog and a bone. Inside the unit, tension did what it always does, made men fight over nothing. TV volume turned into a duel. A pawn got thrown like a pebble. When a block holds its breath, a decision is coming. Day 5. Whitaker didn't show. Substituted count, mustache like a comma. One word between me and Kareem. Movement. Day 6. He returned, late, quiet, tighter. Wrote in his pocket notebook by the Sallyport window. Not smiling now. A man who found a leak he can't patch without flooding the whole house. Kareem sent a second note. Smaller, meaner only in math. 48 hours remain. $1,260. Laundry 3, 0600. No signature. Ghost don't sign. In the middle of it, 2 idiots jumped Jamari by the showers, asking if he'd seen something. He came to me split-lipped, steady-eyed. I told the truth twice, he said, spitting pink into a paper towel. It ain't worked either time. You ain't wrong, I told him. You early. Truth here pays slow. Day 7 arrived pretending to be gentle. Before count, I sat on my bunk listening to the building breathe. When a plan's about to explain itself, the air feels borrowed. 05, 52. Terrence chin tilted me, eyes up. 0559 mop closet open. Whitaker stepped in alone. Pocket notebook, brown lunch sack, the focus you get before telling the truth to the wrong audience. He set the bag on the 3rd shelf, behind floor polish, hesitated, shoved it deeper like he wanted to bury second thoughts with it, closed the door, turned, and almost ran into Kareem. That wasn't the plan. We wanted arithmetic without conversation. But timing is a comedian with bad taste. Kareem stepped in to verify deposit. Whitaker stepped out into a sentence. They locked eyes, not hate, not fear, recognition. Morning, Whitaker said, voice hunting for neutral and grinding the clutch. Kareem nodded. Appreciate punctuality, he said. Hallway empty, except me a dozen steps away, studying a bulletin board like it owed me an education. Terrence vanished the way good porters do, left no shadow. I don't want trouble, Whitaker said. Then stop stealing it, Kareem answered. A door clanged far off the building, reminding us it owns all language. I was told it was contraband. Abandoned Whitaker tried. You were told wrong. Internal affairs. Drinks coffee, Kareem finished. Sometimes puts mugs on files. Whitaker sighed through his nose, the sound of a man tired of his own echo. He looked past Kareem, saw me, pretended he hadn't. You got what you asked for, he said. We done? Kareem's face did math. For now, he said. But arithmetic has follow-up questions. Whitaker nodded, spine straight, walked off tracing exits like a guest who stayed too long. We waited 2 minutes for the air to release his name. Kareem opened the closet, pulled the bag. Inside, neatly banded bills and an envelope labeled interest in nervous script. I counted while Kareem watched the door. $12.60 on the nose. No coins, I said. No charity, Kareem answered. By noon, the compound buzzed with a story nobody could confirm, and everybody believed. They taxed the CO by the ice machine. He paid like rent. He won't come back. He'll come back with friends. Kareem kept the bag close and sent Rico to spread a single sentence. It's settled. Clarity can be a leash or a fence. At count, Whitaker reappeared. Smaller without the money, which is a trick greed plays, unburden a man and he shrinks. His eyes traced exits, not faces. I wanted big anger. Blame can make you tall for a minute. But I saw the chip paint reasons, overtime cut, divorce papers, a mortgage with teeth. Men don't steal from wolves for thrill. They do it because the cupboard in their chest makes a sound when open. Lights went out and the block exhaled. In the dark, you can hear the day's math. 1, Jamar tells truth to the wrong office. 2, IA files it under maybe later. 3, Kareem writes a ledger on a man's conscience. 4, Whitaker pays. 5, nobody's clean. Morning memo on the staff board. Officer Whitaker reassigned pending administrative review. Translation, he got caught by somebody else first or he caught himself. Either way, the building changed the subject. But arithmetic ain't conversation. It's a bill with cousins, interest, late fees, collection agencies with faces. By lunch, 2 no-name shirts stood by the Sally Port observing operations, watched laundry like it preached, time midline like it alibied. Jamari prayed with his hands mopped in perfect squares. Kareem told the crew, hold formation. No arguments, no new money. Debts pause. Arithmetic is done, he said. We don't write poetry unless they ask. That night he brought me the bag. We counted slow, like incense. $12.60. He peeled $8.40 into an envelope labeled return. Dues and debts get paid, he said, even when the world plays dumb. What about the $4.20? Insurance, he said, for Jamari's mouth and anyone else who tried honesty this month. He slid 200s and a 20 into an envelope and wrote air on it, handed it to me. Make sure it breathes. I found Jamari by the big window where night piles up like laundry, gave him the envelope. He held it like it had a pulse. This cause I got beat? This cause you kept telling the same story to rooms with different ears, I said. He looked at the fence glittering under security lights, a cheap necklace on a rich wall. I'm gonna come back around. They might, I said, but they ain't coming for your good. By count, the reassignment had become a ghost story. In some versions, Whitaker left forever. In others, he came back with brothers whose badges don't shine. Me, I just wondered about the cost we'd all agreed to. Once you set prices, the market answers. There's a rule I learned late, touch a man's myth, be ready to hold his fear too. Whitaker's myth, good officer, quiet, steady, got cracked and we charge a fee for the pieces. Now his fear's out, where any hand can grab it. I saw him one last time through admin glass signing out. He caught my reflection at the wrong angle, and for half a second, we were two men holding the same ledger, different columns. No nod, just a door hissing, like a sentence ending. Later, Kareem called a quiet circle. We go back to regular, he said. No celebrating. Let the story finish in other people's mouths. He looked at me. Make sure Jamari don't bleed alone. Night had teeth again. Thunder like furniture being moved upstairs. I couldn't sleep. Remembered the first time a uniform stole from me, different facility, same sermon. I relearned the old lesson. Institutions ain't walls. They're men. And men are appetites with better vocabulary. Before dawn, the vent dropped to a lower hum. The building slept. I sat up and told the dog arithmetic complete. Not because it was, because I needed to pretend 5 minutes that math could love us back. Morning, the Sally Port ate a new CO and spit him on our tier. Fresh posture, smile that didn't know where to sit yet. Grant, he said, no first name, no past. The block watched like a new pastor had stepped to the pulpit. Kareem stopped by my table. If they ask, he said, we tell the truth simple. What's that? We got robbed, he said. We sent a bill. It got paid. And if they want details are where stories get greedy. He walked off, back straight, steps measured. What scared me wasn't what we'd done. It was how easy the building let it happen. Blinked. Cameras forgot to remember. The mop closet made room for cash like it was a family heirloom. We live in a place that absorbs sin like drywall absorbs smoke. You can paint over it, breathe close, you still smell the story. That afternoon, Jamari knocked twice at the laundry window. Our code for, I ain't fine, but I'm standing. He slid me a drawing of a dryer, money whirling like birds. Under it, air turned green. Keep it, I said. Frame it with toothpaste. He laughed, real this time. You think it's over? With us, I said. For now. With them, he chin pointed toward admin. I looked through the glass at the new CO learning where the keys sleep. Nothing's over, I said. We just turned the page without finishing the paragraph. That evening, Kareem divided the 840 like a ceremony without candles. Debt settled. Dues restored. Two men got small advances because hunger shouldn't pay tithes. He gave me 40 and told me to buy a fresh chess set. I said the nick on my bishop is proof we survived something. He said get a clean one anyway. If we're going to keep the board, honor the game. Lights out came soft. I set the new bishop, shiny, unscarred, beside the old one and let them keep each other company. Two versions of the same weapon, one with history, one with intention. Breathed in bleach, sweat, secrets. Closed my eyes and slept inside a sentence. A man in a uniform stole. Men in blue sent him a bill. The building pretended not to notice so we could all pretend to be civilized in the morning. That's arithmetic. Poetry waits around the corner. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.